I need to learn the lyrics. I need to be confident of like learning the lyrics before I do that. So I will brush up on Hamilton. I did want to just drop some Hamilton onto like Chris Winters during like her Patreon hangout, just to see if she just like surprised and impressed.
She would totally lose her shit.
She's already your friend. You don't need to memorize Hamilton to impress her.
Is right, you know.
True.
Hello and welcome to another week. Although remember, the work week is a fiction. Monday doubly so. You can get rid of them if you really want to. This is Social Justice Alchemy. And as happened last week, this week we have some random geek.
Hello.
And Julie.
Hello.
All right. You guys have anything you want to dive into, talk about?
Well, again, since you brought up in the intro, as you always do, of like the work week being the fiction, I always just found it strange that people saying Happy Friday to me. I just like, why should I be happy that it's Friday? And it's like, I did post this on Facebook and like years ago, and then my brother said, that's because like we have associated a different emotion to each days of the week. So Friday is happy, Monday is resentful, Monday is fatigue, Wednesday is like lustful, and then like Sunday is guilt-ridden.
No, I think it's just that people are happy for the weekend because capitalism sucks the joy out of their lives, and they're happy to not have to work anymore.
Yeah. There's also like I guess like they've been so beaten down by capitalism, by alienation, by the whole system that like they are going to just like celebrate mediocrity. It's like it's the weekend. How are you happy? I'm like no, because I know I'm going to come back in on Monday as per I agreed to or forced to agree to, as it were, for like economic conditions of like needing money for food, water, and shelter.
Pretty much.
I don't know because I'm disabled and I don't work, and I still like the weekend. The same. Every day of the week is the weekend.
And that's the thing. It's like for
it's not the same. I don't know. Disability comes with this big lot of guilt, and I think Saturday and Sunday are guilt-free because no one worked.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense, but
I can see how it makes sense. Well also it's like how the capitalist system or the society as a whole has like put misplaced guilt onto like disabled people. Is like, why are you not working? Come on, I'm working. I'm jealous of you not working. Then again, no one asks to be disabled, as it were. You can correct me on this.
I don't know.
Feels like Piers Morgan and people like him are asking for it, but...
Oh, God. That guy. I wish he would shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Him and people like him. Mean people are bad enough when they're not stupid, but...
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's like I don't know of Piers Morgan that well. Maybe I like knew of him before, but like I don't know. Since like last year or so, every time I see Piers Morgan getting mentioned on left Twitter, it's just like, what did he say this time? Oh,
yeah,
God.
He's a moron.
He is a hateful piece of shit, generally.
Yeah, that too.
So anyway.
I don't even know what does he do. I mean, I knew him from the Got Talent show.
Well, he used to be a regular journalist sort of person for a while there, yeah? And then he got fired from that job. God. And now he's a freelance bigot.
Well,
I got. The freelance bigot part I got.
And then again, so like if you're a freelance bigot, the easiest thing you can do is be a journalist. Look at like Ant-Man, Ian Miles Chung.
That man.
Is he really a man?
Wait, was he a journalist too?
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was basically anti-Gamergate, then became pro-Gamergate. I don't know how to square the peg of that brown hole. And ever since then, it's like he wrote for Heat Street, that far right rag all the time, so he's probably, and now it's just like everyone knows him on like the internet as just like the guy with all the worst takes possible.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know he was a journalist. No, that's funny. I like that. I like when the jokes are. You don't have to make an effort. It just exists, and it's funny.
Yeah, he's just the nuclear hot takes awful guy. Yeah.
That's a good word for that.
Yes,
okay.
One of those good.
That was funny.
Look at the title of this article. Oh my god, they say feminism.
And that's pretty much all his opinion is at that point. It's just, look, feminism, women bad, ew.
I don't get how a man can gays and women. How does that work?
How do
they don't
women?
hate?
I don't really get it either. But, that's like half the men in the world are just rampant misogynists, and it feels like the other half are kind of quietly, passively misogynists.
And yeah, it's like the active misogynists are kind of like it's kind of like make it seem okay to be misogynist. Well, if he just get to say that and talk about that and then thinks of this way, then guess like my opinions on those things are fine, are acceptable, as it were, until you run into people where they say, no, that's not acceptable. Really? And then you like have to like make the choices. So it's like, wait a minute. Is what I'm listening to correct, or what I'm reading correct, or is it something else? And then it's like, and hopefully they'll probably like see the light or see the systemic oppression that is happening around. But like, if they don't, then they'll be.
I doubt it.
Yeah. But it's you gotta like hope that like for the people like that who come to who are being challenged on their worldviews, on their bad worldviews as it were, that you hope that it will come to the good conclusions or the correct conclusions as it were, or conclusions that we agree with, because like the conclusions that you come to on your own. No,
but just talking about thinking about it, Mm-hmm. But no.
Yeah.
That's also assumed that there's thought there in their people's minds as well, which, one would hope.
And sometimes when I talk with people I disagree with, I don't know, they don't change my mind, but I think about it, I listen, I'm not yelling at them. Or imagine if I yelled at Christy, for example, as much as those fuckers yell at us.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. But somehow they I don't know, they put up with it.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm angry at some stuff, and and those guys are angry at everything.
Well, they thought they would grow up to be
exhausted.
Batman, and they didn't grow up to be Batman, and obviously it's because of women.
No, but I don't really care what their reason are, but how are they coping with the always angry is exhausting.
I don't know.
Maybe
maybe they're get high off the adrenaline they get from being angry or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Where do they find the energy, to always be pissed at anything?
any drinks, energy drinks. Rose American Anarchist mentioned to Blissful Melancholy that Monster energy drinks are kind of like the MGTOW juice or the MRA juice or the kind of stuff that they always drink and stuff like that. So that's where they get their...
On top of everything, they drink something disgusting, so that's not
Yes.
going to arrange the...
Also,
I don't like...
when you don't have any real relationships or people you love, then that leaves you with a lot of free time and energy for other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I feel
don't
like...
know. I'm a spoonie, so I don't know.
The spoonie?
Yeah, a spoonie. It's a term that describes people with mental illness and or physical disabilities.
Oh, okay.
The spoon theories. Do you know it?
No, I don't, actually.
Okay,
you get
I'm
to
going
educate
to
us
find
now.
a link so you can read about it, and our 10 listener can too.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is sort of a model for understanding disabilities and so on. How, just regular people, for the world has basically been set up for them. And
Yeah.
not having disabilities means they have lots and lots of ability and energy to maneuver through the world. But when you're disabled, it takes more effort to do stuff because you're disabled. And you don't have the reserves of energy and strength that an able person would. And so spoons just represent how much you can do, how what your reserves are. So saying I don't have the spoons for this means, just I don't have the energy for this sort of thing.
Ah, I see. Oh, this is also a quick question since we brought up the topic of people with disabilities, because I saw an exchange between Ted Shiras, who is funny and great. Check out
I
Ted.
love him. He's amazing. Ted is the shit.
Yes. In fact, actually, Ted Shiras did the whole video about disabled people or people with disabilities, and it's kind of I think he's now on just disabled people as a word.
Oh, I'm always was on disabled people. People with disability is just a term. People first to make the able feel comfortable. It's not for us. It's like people with autism. No. I don't know. It makes it sound like
we were normal, but then we have
chlamydia or something. Something dirty and ew.
You with this, I have this, but I can see your point. By saying I am disabled, you making that first. You making that more of your identity and saying I am this.
No, but it's not only this. It's our impairments is not the same thing as disability. Disability is something that comes with society. Society, as it is, makes us disabled.
You're right. Yeah.
With disabilities, if society wasn't so...
Society could change things a very small amount and things would be so much easier and better.
Oh, God, yes. We still... I mean, I would still have a hard time climbing a bunch of stairs, but if it was the only issue I have, God, I could deal with it.
But that just a click in my head to remind me that there was this extra credits video that I saw that it got co-wrote by a person with this disability herself, and she actually has a great story of how video games actually help her eyesight. But she points out how making concessions that will make it easier for disabled people to get around also have additional benefits for everyone else, the slopes at the slopes on intersections of sidewalks and with for when you're going on the crosswalks and stuff like that. Yeah, that's obviously for people in wheelchairs to help them get onto the to cross the street to the crosswalks, stuff like that. But other people found other use for them too. Skateboarders, if they're not paying attention, they can easily go on down those slopes. Women with strollers or people with strollers actually can easily use those. So it doesn't just making these concessions for disabled people. It doesn't just benefit disabled people; it benefits everyone else.
Having elevators in all buildings doesn't just benefit disabled people. We absolutely need it, but everyone is happy to not have to climb 4 or 5 stories.
Yep.
Which is why
on and on.
Yeah, which is why that's the kind of thing where people sometimes just don't see. It's just like, just because it's made for a certain group of identity doesn't mean it doesn't also help everyone. I mean, what's good for the collective is good for the individual as well,
and vice versa.
Yep.
Interested in that stuff. There's something that's called the social model of disability.
Ooh.
If you want to look it up, it's very interesting. And currently, our model is the medical model.
Right.
Treating people with disabilities as people who are broken who need to be treated by doctors.
Yeah. Well, some of us are, obviously, but not only,
Or people with disabilities have, conditions, symptoms, things like that, that can be treated by doctors, but, that's not the entirety of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, reading up on the social model of disability, I think is a good idea for anyone who want to about it. How to help us cripples being a little less cripples.
Because a hell of a lot of, disability comes from the fact that society just makes it really, really hard for people to function if they're a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a subject that I will talk about a lot if I finally fucking YouTube channel that I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
I can recommend some software for you, Julie, if you want to.
I know what to do, but spoons,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I even have a subject for my first video. I have everything. I'm just a chicken.
Yeah, there's
a tired one.
I have Julie and I have a mutual disabled friend, Joanna, who has similar conditions, and she shared.
She has the same as me. Joanna and I are twins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's also a comrade too. She always posts these memes that she gets from finds on Tumblr and stuff like that to her Facebook, and I think one was just tells the experience of disabled people, where it's okay, let's do some stuff today.
We lost you, Jonathan.
Yes, you stopped talking. You cut off there. Oh no.
Oh god, nothing goes well today.
I think you caught the Kevin disease.
You didn't get to do stuff.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Oh,
yeah, you cut off quite a lot there.
Yeah, that's my connection betrayed me.
Yeah, we thought you died.
It's okay. I was just sharing a Facebook meme. It wasn't important.
All right.
But I know the one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I share a lot of stuff from each other.
All right, so Howard Schultz.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's the general opinion.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was until 45 minutes ago, but I read up and fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I'm from Seattle
I don't think anybody
area.
knew who he was. I mean, very few CEOs of anything are famous. None deserve to be.
Right. I'm familiar with Howard Schultz, but only because I live near, worked in Seattle and lived near the Seattle area. So I knew that how I know of him is that he bought the team, our basketball team, the Sonics, but it wasn't. The Sonics were not doing well. The team was losing. So Howard Schultz even though he was trying to bring back the old uniforms for the Sonics, do something for the community, it wasn't making money for him. So then he sold it then the first buyer said, like, oh yeah, we'll buy the team, but we'll move the team. And he's like, no, keep it in Seattle. So then he went to a different group of owners and said, we'll try to keep it in Seattle. But then the team was doing terrible, and then they moved the team to Oakland, and now so that's how the Seattle Sonics became the Oklahoma City Thunders. And sports fans in Seattle areas definitely have some opinions on Howard Schultz, just like selling the team because it was losing money and stuff like that. And so that's how I'm familiar with Howard Schultz, because he's also former chairman of Starbucks. So you can blame Howard Schultz for the $4 coffee.
Mm-hmm. I don't see how moving a team would help it make money, but taxes maybe.
Yeah, well, the buyers for the Seattle Seahawks and Seattle Sonics, actually, the Seahawks sort of the hen egg team, they're from out of state, and so they wanted to like buy the team to just move to their state and not keep it in Seattle. That's why. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's running for president now. And...
Don't mind me, I don't get sports. Okay.
Yeah, sports is just like entertainment to like entertain.
Especially the American ones. I can
it's reality TV soap opera.
Understand those in my country, but barely.
Yeah, capitalism and its like effects on sports. Actually, my friend Owen McDonald did a whole stream going through each of the like football clubs in the UK and seeing who owns these football clubs. And
try the entire Europe. It's a fucking shit show when you know how much those guys make, the players. I want to cry.
Yep, Owen McDonald covered that on his stream. I'll link it to the Discord because I thought it was quite interesting.
No, but for real, it's obscene the amount of money those guys make to just the fucking ball with their foot.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the owners. Once you look into the owners of like, well, who is this person? And sometimes like,
it's the mafia. In France, it's the mafia. I swear.
Probably the same for Italy and Greece and Eastern Europe and a significant chunk of the U.S. and South America.
And then, and then you're just like this one person, who owns this football club, but then they also own the Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox. They also own Fenway Park. They own this thing. They own this thing. They own this thing. It's like one person owns so many different things that.
Thank you for calling it football, though.
Yeah, I don't know why we call it football.
That's refreshing. Thank you.
David Beckham, the like football player, he said, "There's a meme. He just points to football, what Americans call soccer. See, that is a foot, and that is a ball, and then points to American football. That is a hand, and that is an egg. So I call it hand egg ever since then."
Yep.
Yeah, and like I said already, I call it degenerate rugby.
Oh, yeah, yes, exactly. That's very true as well.
Except I kind of like rugby, but not really. It's funny because they hit each other, but...
Because violence against men against other men is funny! Which, well...
Toxic masculinity.
And also Tom and Jerry cartoons have like copied that too.
Yep.
My uncle was a rugby player and trainer later in life. And I particularly like.
So yeah,
Le Pen guy, you know.
So yeah,
the type.
Yeah. So yeah, fuck Howard Schultz for announcing his like presidency, but being a third party president candidate.
Well, and offering nothing new or interesting at all.
Yeah,
if he were offering some sort of leftist socialist take, then that would be interesting. But he's just a business clone guy. Nothing there.
Yeah. It looks like he's a slightly less bigoted, slightly less stupid Trump.
Yeah, and more successful at business. He didn't drive Starbucks into bankruptcy.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
he also did.
That coffee, it would be a
it's
fit.
terrible coffee from what others have told me too.
I never. I will never pay $4 for a coffee. Never, ever, ever.
I would, me personally, I'll only do it just so I can compare it to the coffee that we get for free at work, which it's there and free just so that I can continue working there. I understand that. As well as all those soda drinks and those energy drinks and all those food that they like offer that you have to pay for. But they do donut day, at least, once a week.
Nah, I don't put shit in my coffee. It's offensive.
Coffee's bitter for me, and yet whenever I travel out of town, which is rare, you're from Seattle, yeah. Want some coffee? No, I don't like coffee. You don't like coffee? You're from Seattle.
I'm from the South. Like that doesn't mean I like racism. I mean.
It's also possible to live in Seattle and still fucking hate the rain.
Yep.
I'm just
used to it. I don't like coffee either, but I think the more you put in it, the more disgusting is it. So just black coffee, no sugar, no milk, no shit in it. It's caffeine. Stop. Not suck. It sucks.
I'm sorry, but for me, non-dairy creamers are what makes it like horrible for me to drink. And sometimes I will just put ice in it to like cool it down, and maybe water to water it down again to make it easier to drink. But I don't usually drink coffee. Sometimes I do.
I just put sugar in mine.
Now, sometimes I will put a lot of like sugar-free vanilla syrup in it as well, but it's like it has the problems of it being.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. But sometimes I will take the sugar-free vanilla syrup and sometimes like the cherry syrup, and I'll put a little bit into like my cola or my Dr. Pepper, so that I have cherry Dr. Pepper or cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper.
But vanilla inside coffee sounds not that bad.
Yeah.
And Julie just wants her beans separate and pure. No coffee and vanilla.
No, it's not something. I don't know. It's not something. Again, it's not like tea. I am a tea snob, but coffee I couldn't care less. But the stuff really disgusting, and I don't get the point of putting stuff in it that makes it even more disgusting. The stuff is still bitter as shit. If you can put 1 pound of sugar in it, it's still going to be.
I do prefer tea much more over coffee. Earl Grey, chai tea, orange spice. Ooh, orange spice with a bit of chocolate. Or you just take a bite of like a Reese's peanut butter cup and then start drinking the orange spice tea.
Yeah, I'm still not talking to you.
John, can you relay this message to Julie?
No.
No, when I say I'm a tea snob, I'm a real snob with tea. I drink Darjeeling First Flush, the stuff that costs an eye and a kidney. And I'm awful with tea.
How about we close this out with one of those questions from Jonathan's nice little questions for anarchists thread.
Okay.
Oh God. So back.
We won't necessarily talk about their things, but we can talk about our ignorant ass responses to them.
The anarcho state is my favorite.
So, to inform the audience, on various places around the internets, Jonathan, asked, what questions do liberals, social democrats, and so on have for anarchists and libertarian socialists, so on. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people jumped in with the same sorts of questions.
But who will build the roads?
Yep.
The road builders, easy. What you think?
The same people that build them now, those who know how to do it.
It's not like once we get to like anarchism, suddenly all the things that we have like under our current system just disappears. No, all of those things can easily be built. One thing is just like I'm not a primalist, no way, and I don't agree with primalists either. They actually want to they're anti-technology. They want to revert back.
Oh yeah, they can go die of polio in a cave. Don't talk to me about those.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and most anarchists and most friends that I have and comrades, they don't agree with those anarchists either. And most anarchists are not criminalists as well. But like, I would like imagine. Listen, we still have all this infrastructure here of like the internet, the telephone lines, and the roads and stuff like that. They all will still be here if we somehow transition to anarcho-syndicalism. So we still will build and maintain those things.
There will still be society, there will still be organization and so on. We'll just, because anarchism doesn't mean the abolition of all groups and things. It just means getting rid of all unnecessary, unjustifiable hierarchies. So people would still organize and work together. There would still be projects.
Those
like
people think that's no incentive to do something, money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's stupid. Everyone uses roads. Of course, someone will go build them if they know how to. They need it too. Everyone needs roads and fucking toilets and internet and shit.
But people won't work without the incentive of greed. Fuck you.
Which
people
is
love to help
completely
other
stupid.
people. People love to work for the greater good.
That's why
people are good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, and also sometimes I think this is like just the kind of like it maybe not be just like an American mindset, but it's other places, or whereas like they think government is like someone else. It just something completely detached from them. Is I'm not doing governance; it's my representative. I just vote for them. Maybe I'll consciously tell them what my opinions on certain issues are.
No, it's not just an American thing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but that's why I think of like anarchism is just like, don't think of like government as someone else or some other group or some other building or some other entity. No, in anarchism, governance is everyone. We're all part of it. We all get a say in it. We all have the power to participate and to like work together to make changes if we feel the changes are necessary.
Yep. That anarchism is you finally shouldering responsibility instead of pretending that somebody else can take care of it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the major issue, actually. It's a responsibility issue.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, like, how would things be organized? Who would be in charge? Who would, how would things be funded? People just don't, it's sort of like, to make an analogy, people talk about ending the prison system. Well, what are we going to replace prisons with? And people say, well, that's like asking back in the South, what are you going to replace slavery with? They see things as this is the only way things could be, and don't realize that what we're offering, what we're suggesting, what we're hoping for is a very, very different way of accomplishing similar goals.
Yeah, and even if you don't already have the answer, it is always good. I mean, I don't know how to change that effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs to change. Yes, there are people who are a danger to society. We need to find solutions to deal with them. Prison is not working, so let's talk and find another solution.
Yeah, exactly.
Rehabilitation. It's like most people especially in our current system, the reason why most people get arrested or as word do crimes. I'm putting crimes in air quotes because like certain things we can all agree with, like murder and like and violent crimes and stuff like that, assault. But like for other crimes, sometimes it's just like because of poverty, and And so if you get rid of poverty, you get rid of a lot of crimes. Also, we will definitely get rid of all those stupid, like, victimless crimes that are on the books right now.
Yep. Illness is not a crime. Drugs
sex work is not a crime.
Sex work is not a crime, yeah. So the Norwegian model
in
also
France,
offers
sex work isn't a crime anymore.
But is purchasing sex work a crime? I know that doesn't help too much.
No, that doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you got to decriminalize every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And it just makes things better for everyone. Because once, sex workers are, free from fear from the police, then they no longer have to worry quite as much. They're able to secure their lives in future a hell of a lot.
People always cite the Netherlands model to
Mm-hmm.
answer
The
the
Netherlands
argument.
does a lot of things
But-
right, but
No, but the good example of sex work decriminalization isn't the Netherlands. It's New Zealand.
Yep.
New Zealand does it, not fucking Amsterdam. It's a shit show.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so which is why decriminalizing sex work is a feminist issue, because like if like those women are taking control of their bodies and have their bodily autonomy for selling it for whatever it is, then yeah, that's more empowering to them, as well as like any person, any trans person, any non-binary person, any man as well. So it's for everyone, not just for women. And also, besides, we are all selling our bodies anyway. We sell our labor. We sell our
Yeah,
time.
and it's a moral stuff too, because what do you care if there are some people who prefer to fuck than, I don't know, cleaning shit from someone's toilet,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
which they're wrong. I mean, I wouldn't like to do sex for money, but I'm not everyone. Just because I don't want doesn't mean someone doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
There's that idea that a woman can't like it.
It's just like the myth, quotes around myth, of the female orgasm.
What
All
about
right.
it?
People think it's a myth, as it were. They used to, at
What?
least. No.
Yeah.
Some people still think it's mostly older people, but like some people
Well,
think
it's just because they've never experienced it, because they're just that bad
Yeah, I
at it.
was going to say, if there are women who think that, buy them a fucking dildo, because
Mhm. Which is, and there's
No,
also
no,
one
a dildo
thing-
recapitulates the patriarchy. You got to get them something
Right.
that's not shaped like a penis.
yeah.
the magic wand isn't shaped like a penis.
I think the Metro one was actually supposed to be like a back massager as well, but then it has other uses.
Yep.
And there's so many different vibrators as well. You can get one that you can actually wear around your neck, and people won't notice it because it looks like just another necklace, but it has a battery in it, and like you can turn it on.
Come on the go.
The magic wand looks like a mic, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, it does actually.
It's funny.
All right. It's been about 40 minutes now, so let's go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Jonathan, why don't you go ahead and make your pitches?
All right, hello everyone. You should know by now, but I'm Jonathan Scott and Some Random Geek. And yes, John, I did change my Discord screen name to match my Twitter handle, which is the same thing at Some Random Geek with 3s and Geek. And my YouTube channel is also I changed it to have 3s and Geek as well. It's Some Random Geek YouTube channel. I just posted last week a video highlight package of all the Patreon hangouts and from the C-Shi's Patreon hangouts. That's on my channel. That's what I'm going to be working on now. Also, our friends Joanna, who Joe and I mentioned in the pre-show chat, is always begs online because she is disabled, so she'll need help. So if you can, please give money to sophirajoe@gmail.com via PayPal. Also, our friend and comrade who just came out as genderqueer, actually, Ashley, Electric Mayhem 87. She, her is still her pronouns. She needs to get money to get on her own theme. So her GoFundMe is GoFundMe.com/help-me-get-my-own-place on-my-feet or something like that. And I'll provide the link to John Brockman as well.
That's a lot of dashes.
Yes, it is.
That's a link you need to read, I think.
That's it for me.
All right. And Julie.
Well, as always, I am Leto Anor on Twitter, and I am still an admin at Anarchist Memes on Facebook. my art page on Facebook is still the Creep Crafter.
Okay. And you can find me on another podcast, the Dungeons and Debacles podcast, hosted by my friend Kevin, where we're playing an
Which
evil
is
party.
awesome.
Thank you. Playing an evil party looking to destroy the world. And it's a heck of a lot of fun. Very wildly different from this one. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by and chatting with me. And we'll do it again next week.
Yeah.
Bye.